Hi, friends. Happy Thursday. It's me, Janna, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm making a really fun card today using these new products from Sweet Miss Daisy Designs. And I do have the link to her shop in Etsy down below in the description box. And Sweet Miss Daisy Designs is by Anna White, Whight. You can find her here on YouTube. And if you watched my latest Saturday Morning Makes video, then you will know what cards I'm making today, perhaps. If you haven't, that's fine. I'll show them to you again at the end of the video. My page didn't print out with the right colors here for some reason, so you'll have to excuse that. But I am using this card design, which is May 2026 Sheetload of Cards. It is a tent topper card and it is by Call Me Crafty Al. And I did put the link to her channel also in the description box. I will give you measurements as I go along making this card today. I thought it was a really fun card to make. So I am recreating it here today for you. And this stamp set is called Let's Celebrate. And like I said, this is from her brand new release. It's got two really cute little puppy dogs and two cute cats. I'm working with the cats today. I've made one that I will show you later. And I'm going to play with this one, holding the cute cupcake today. And these papers are part of the release and they are shown actual size, which is really nice. So these are the designs on one side, and when you flip them over, the designs on the other side. Excuse me. Okay, so this paper pack is called Meow. She also came out with one that was more dog themed. And was there another paper pack? I can't remember, but there is a really cute raccoon stamp that she came out with, and I will show you. This is the cute raccoon stamp that she has, and it comes with some sayings. So adorable. She changes her little business card up with each release. And then there was a little thank you in my order, which was these two adorable paw charms. So thank you, Anna, for that. And I did order one other thing from this release, if I can get it without knocking everything off. She does a new snowman every month, so I ordered this one. I just love this one holding the chicken. I thought it was so cute. This one's called Happy Cluckin' Winter. And then you get another little chicken here and the cutest snowflakes with hearts in them, and then all these fun sentiments. So this was also new this time. All right, so let's get going. Um, Here's my parts and pieces. So I am going to stamp first. And I'm using, so as you can see, this is the layout for the card. Keep in mind, I don't think you have to do a circle up here. I am doing a circle because circles are kind of fun, but you could do a square, you could do a rectangle, you could do an oval. Um, the finished card size is going to be 4¼ by 5½. And so if you wanted a smaller card, you could just move this image down further. But I like making it so it's our regular card size will fit just right in the envelope. So anyway, let's get started. I'm just going to bring in my Misty here. And I just have some alcohol marker friendly paper here that I'm using to stamp and color on. It's by Spectrum Noir, and I find it on Amazon. I'm sure you can find it in other places too, but that's where I get it. Hi, Sue. All right, so I'm going to use that little cutie patootie with the cupcake. So just keep in mind whatever you're stamping on needs to accommodate whatever die or punch that you're using to cut it out with. And I did not show you the dies that I'm using today. I am using from Stampin' Up! The Spotlight on Nature dies. You get a whole bunch. There's 2 sheets of dies in here. So you get 12. And then this is a really old circle die set called Layering Circles dies. And there's also a lot of dies in there, 16. All right, so moving right along, I think I've got this positioned pretty well. Make sure I am in view. I'm going to slide this back just a little bit here. And I'm going to ink the little kitty up with my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I haven't stamped this stamp yet, so it's probably going to take a couple of times here. So adorable. The sun has peeked out today, which has been lovely. It's still shining out there, as a matter of fact. We've just been having white sky here, which gets really old really fast. And what I mean by white sky, it's probably really high fog. It doesn't settle down low, but uh-oh, what did I pick up there? Oh, I guess that is on there. Let's see what that is on the design. Oh, it's just a little doodah. Uh, so yeah, it's just like completely white, and gosh, it gets tiring. But that's what happens when you live on the coast, especially when it warms up inland. It just socks that in for us for quite a while. Okay, I'm thinking that's pretty good right there. So when the sun shows itself, it's always really appreciated around here. So if you are watching, I pulled the wrong folder out there. If you are watching live and have the ability to go onto the chat, I know you can't really do that when you're watching it on the TV unless you open it up on your mobile device, but come on and say hello. And if you're new, tell me where you're watching from. And even if you aren't new, tell me where you're watching from, because there's a lot of you that I don't know where you're watching from. And that's always kind of fun to know where people are. Okay, so I've pulled a bunch of Stampin' Up! Blends that I'm going to color with. And I could get fancy and make this cat into a calico or a striped cat, but I'm just going to make this kitty a solid gray cat today. I'm going to go in with my pink where I want pink first. And I'm using light bubble bath. So I'm just going to go on the insides of the ears here. And its little cute nose. And I'll probably have to go back over that again. So I'm going to just go for that right now. And then I'm using both the light and dark smoky slate for my gray. So I am not doing anything fancy at all. I am just putting some dark in around the edges. And gonna fill in with my lighter marker. These stamps are so cute. And this card design, I think, lends itself really well to images that are a little bit smaller. Sometimes you don't know how to, um, there might be something that you want to use, but it's like, okay, this image isn't going to take up much space on my card, so how am I going to make this work? Um, so yeah, I just think this is a really good card design for that, for using your smaller designs. I'm going all over the place here, so I'll probably end up missing something, but I will try to get it where I want it here. I think I'll leave its little face alone. We're going to let it have a little bit of a striped tail. So cute. I do miss having a cat. We lost our Miss Kitty. Oh gosh, it's been a year more now. She just got old, and we've always had a cat, so it's kind of weird not having a cat. But what I don't miss is the cat litter box and the hair. She was especially furry, and so I really don't miss that. And we're not planning to get another cat because we've got our two little chihuahuas, and they didn't like to stay out of the litter box, which wasn't fun. And so we're just going to appreciate other people's kitties and not get another one of our own. I always love seeing, watching videos though, and when somebody's cat um, gets in the picture, gets up on their crafting table or whatever, I always get a kick out of that and seeing them. Miss Kitty liked to come in my when she was able to. She really had arthritis there in the end, but she used to jump up on my little thing I had at the time that held my paper trimmer. I had one of those bigger guillotine paper cutters, and she loved to get up there and lay on it and watch whatever I was doing. So I'm filling in with the light smoky slate. Oh, I forgot to do the pink cheeks. Well, let me see if I can go back in without it getting too weird. I'm going to highlight these ears again with some more pink. And let's see if I can just fill this in now. Sometimes when you do it afterwards, it gives a weird outline around it, but that's okay. Oh, so cute. All right, so now I want to do the cupcake, and let me see. Let me look at my paper that I'm going to use. I'm using this cute one. And I did try to pull colors out. I know I want the actual cupcake to be this color, which is light pecan pie. Hi, Sophia. Hi, Danita. Oh, you have deer in your backyard. Yeah, deer go into their backyard and you can sit right out there with them and they just do their thing, lay down in the shade. They've got some really big trees back there and it's fun to watch them. Sophia says her cat loves being on the desk, especially when the camera's on. Well, she likes to be the star. Oh, thank you. I just got them done yesterday and I had her do that cat's eye and they use the magnet that makes those cool lines in it. All right, so you can't see too much of the cupcake, but I am going to color it with this pecan pie color. And what am I missing there? What are those little designs? I think it's just part of the cupcake paper. I think so. All right, what color do I want to do the cupcake paper? I pulled out this color because it matches. I really tried, and it was pretty easy to match up Stampin' Up! Colors with the papers in here. My card is going to be Highland Heather. Yes, that's the color I pulled out, which is this color. And then I just tried to coordinate some of the other colors that are in there. Um, oh, there's pink in there, but frosting, frosting, frosting. What color do I want the frosting? I think I'm gonna make the hat the Highland Heather, so I don't really want the hat that color. Maybe I will do the cupcake liner this color, which is Old Olive. So I will just do the little lines with that. I'll do those little sides there. And right across the top, working with such small area. Okay, and then we'll come back in and fill in the rest with the light Old Olive. All right, and then I'm really tempted to make the cupcake frosting blue. I think I'm gonna. Let's see here. I've got the dark balmy blue. Let me pull out my light balmy blue also. Yay, it was right on top, so I didn't have to go digging for it. All right. Ooh, I think I should put some Wink of Stella on the frosting here. Shimmer it up. Okay, that looks like a yummy cupcake to me. And then I will put some Wink of Stella on it. So let's do the hat. Highland Heather. I'm going to make the little pom-pom dark, and I am going to come back over it in the end with some stickles. Got to have a little bit of sparkle and shine. All right. And oh, I just love these stamps. They're so cute. There's so many different styles of stamps that I love. I mean, I love cutesy. I love, if you know what Stampotique is, where they're really odd people characters that look a little bit creepy. I love that. Um, I love vintage. There's just a lot. Okay, so now then I've got some other colors here to color in the polka dots. Do I want to do dark or light? Let's just go with the light. This is light Calypso Coral. And I think it matches with the color there on that dish. So there's some of that. And then I've got dark So Saffron. And there's cheese in there, so I'm kind of just going with this color like the cheese. And then we've got the blue. I've got the cupcake blue. Maybe I'll just do some of the old olive and do some. We'll do one old olive dot here, and we'll do one of the dark balmy blue. And then that will look pretty festive, I think. There we go. Cute. Oh, I see. I missed some color here on the paw. Did you guys notice that too? Hey, Patty. There we go. So I think everything's filled in. Okay, so I will come back and put some shadow under the cat. I don't think I want to use the same color for the shadow that I colored the cat with. Let me grab. I'll make my shadow with some light crumb cake. All right, so now then, I've got my circle here to cut my cat out with. What did I do with my tape? Here it is. And I'm going to put the little meow. There is meow on here, so I'm going to be stamping that in here. So I'm putting the cat over to the side. I don't want to go off the side of my paper though, which I am. So let me make sure that I'm leaving. Let me stick this down and see if I'm good. Not quite. I don't want a flat spot. That would not look good. I'll just put the meow at an angle and that will work. Okay, so there's that. And then while I'm at it, I may as well cut my other circle. And I'm doing that with the Highland Heather. Let me just pull all of this out and then I won't have to keep getting into it. All right, so I will run these both through and I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. I don't think that I've got too much here to have to poke out. I think I got it all. I love these dies that have all the different edges. All right, so there's that. And here is our little cat. So cute. Okay, so let me bring my Misty back. And we'll get the meow stamped on here. Meow. Let's see, how are we going to do it? Just like that, I think. That will be cute. Okay. Now, make sure I get this where I had it. Okay. Now I just pinched my cardstock. Well, it'll be fine. And we'll do it one more time. So cute. Meow. If you haven't made one of these kind of, what are they called? Tent topper cards, I would highly suggest it. They're pretty addictive because they are just fun to make. Oh, let's see. I'm not going to put that away just yet because I want to stamp the inside while I'm at it. And I think we will do Make a Wish. I think we'll do that one. Make a Wish. That's what happens when the stamps are new. They're so sticky. Cute. Yes, Patty, I love that. And they come in different sizes, of course, you can get them from different companies too. I got mine from scrapbook.com. I was looking over here to see if I can, yeah, so I got this really big one that totally fits inside here. So makes the whole thing sticky. This is 6.5 by 8.5. And I don't remember what I paid for them. And I'm not sure why I didn't put the whole big sticky one in here, but I just put the smaller one in. And I'm not sure what it measures, but oh, well, it's 6 by 4 3/4. It would also be good to just leave it on its carrier sheet, like especially maybe the bigger one. Not, you don't have to put it in your MISTI, but to hold things when you are maybe, oh, I don't know what I want to say. When you're blending and stuff like that. All right, so I had a little strip left over of my pattern cardstock that I'm going to just put at the bottom of this for the inside of the card. So it stays sticky, and it says if it quits being sticky, I think all you have to do is kind of like with acrylic stamps, rinse it off maybe with some soapy water and allow it to air dry. And then it's sticky again. I also have a sticky hard thin mat that I got from, oh, what's that called? I know, Brutus Monroe. I'm grabbing the cleaner. And so he's got this cleaner that you can use to clean that mat with, and I'm wondering if this would work. I'm not sure it would be the same because the mat is actually a different kind of surface. Okay. I like using the wet glue for these things because it gives you that little bit of wiggle room to get things in place where you want them. And I've got just the tiniest little bit of edge that's going to bug me, so I'm going to snip it off here. Just a sliver. Okay, so now then, that's where I wrinkled up my card, but I think it's okay. This is going to go on the inside. And again, I put the link to Alicia. Well, I don't know if she says her name Alicia or Alicia, but it's Call Me Crafty Al's channel here on YouTube. And once a month, she does this sheetload of cards thing. So the instructions that I showed you earlier, actually, if you follow them just as she has them in there, makes 12 cards. Okay, so there's that. And then here's my other parts and pieces. This is so cute. And there's the back, little balls of yarn. Sorry about my squeaky glue gun here. I call it a glue gun. I feel like what comes out of it, the adhesive, is like glue. Some people call them tape. Well, it says ATG, it's Advanced Tape Glider, but this stuff isn't like tape, not what I consider tape. It's like glue. Okay, I need to reinforce my bowl here. And I laid that down on the sticky side. Good thing that was glass and not paper. Okay. Oh, so I love watching the spicy Nonna here on YouTube, and they're Italian family. I've talked about them before. But anyway, the Nonna, she is always saying, okay, but she drags it out. Okay. And now I find myself saying that. Okay. Because I say it to myself 100 times while I'm crafting, but now I say, okay. I just love watching them. I always can't wait until they put another new video on there and I rewatch some of the older ones. It's all about them in their kitchen. Well, and there's other stuff mixed in, like the grandpa, the Nona, it's Nona and No. And he does all kinds of stuff. He's very artistic and gardens, and they're just super fun to watch. Okay, so now this piece. You can put this piece anywhere on here that you want. I like putting it up here, leaving about a 1/2 inch um, space up here, just because, it shows more of the patterned paper down here. But you can center it, you can put it closer to the bottom, however you want to do it. It's your card when you're making it, so make it the way you want to make it. Sue's hooked on cooking videos. I know. You should message me some of the ones that you like to watch. There's a few different ones that I especially enjoy watching. And, I'm sure there's a gazillion of them out there, so you don't really know about them until somebody says something. Okay, so there we have that. And now I want to just color some shadow under my kitty here because I don't want him floating. You know what I mean? So this card I mentioned is nice for smaller images, but it's also nice for those images that you have that you don't have dies for. Of course, I can use my scan and cut if I wanted to cut this out, or you can always fussy cut. Uh, all right, so now this is going to go on here. Okay, I'm sorry I get quiet focusing on what I'm doing here. All right, I think that's plenty enough glue. Oh, that's so cute. I love that Highland Heather color. All right, now then, let me move my mat up. I want to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Maybe I should just pull this back this way a little bit. And So I'm measuring, if you have something like this, whether it's paper or a glass mat or like my bigger mat underneath that I have, something where you can lay and kind of measure, because this card is 4 1/4 wide, and then I want to place my circle on it so it ends up measuring 5 1/2 inches tall. So I can do that because I can see where the top of this circle is hitting. And then I like to try to get it even. Make sure I'm not sliding around here. Get it even side to side. So I hope that you can see what I'm doing here. Um, so I'm under my 5 1/2. Let me scoot it up a little bit and scooch it over a little bit. I want to make sure my cat is not sitting wonky also. Okay, so I'm at 5 1/2. Everything seems to be in place. I'm going to carefully hold that in place and pick it up. Well, I moved it a little bit. Turn it over. My point of this is that I don't want my adhesive coming up higher than my card. So I've got a pencil here. I'm going to position my pencil so that my line goes just under the edge, and I'm just going to run it straight across there. And now I know where I can't go beyond for my glue. All right, so I'm going to just get my glue on here. Stay within where the holes are on the edges there. I don't need glue going to the front of my card. Okay, that's good. And then what I'm going to do is take my card to the circle. Make sure I've got it with my fold at the top. I'm going to go just over that pencil line a little bit and try to make sure I've got the sides equal. Okay, now let me see. Well, I think it looks pretty good. Maybe slide it that way just a little tiny bit. Okay, so there's that. And now I pulled these sequins. Let me pull this down and push this up a little bit. Um, I pulled these sequins because I thought that they're very iridescent and they very much have the blue and the purple, the Highland Heather and that balmy blue color in them. So I thought they would be pretty to play with here. This is so cute, I think. All right, so there's 2 sizes in the sequins. And I'm just going to see how good they look up against that purple, the blue. Okay, and then uh-oh, there it is. Okay, so 3 there, and then we'll put, come on. Oh, I'm just flicking them all over. Here we go. I like to do odd numbers. So there we have 5. And then I could get crazy and put more on there, but I'm not gonna. Sometimes you can overdo it, I think. Thank you, Sue. Do you watch The Hand Doc and his wife from Seattle? Huh. Okay, so I've got some twinkle stickles here, and I'm going to stickle the pom-pom on the hat. And be careful not to stick my fingers in it. I know you probably can't even see it. And then I'm going to, where's my wink of Stella? Here it is. I'm going to wink of Stella the frosting on the cupcake. Very cute. Makes it a little more festive. All right, so there we have it. If you wanted to put, happy birthday across here or across here, you certainly could. Meow, make a wish. So cute. All right. Here is the one I made earlier. And I put some sparkle sequins there on it. And this little kitty's holding a present. And I put happy birthday in that one. And I also stickled up the pom-pom if it even shows. And then these were the ones I did that I showed already for Saturday morning makes with the cute little puffin. That one's got a birthday cake. Happy birthday to someone who makes others happy. And this one's the same. And then these two, we're just using these bigger word stamps, but I used the same sentiment inside because I just liked it. And then I did use my Wink of Stella if it shows, and I flicked it all over the front of this to sparkle that up, but I'm not sure that it shows. Okay, so that is the card. And again, I put the link to Call Me Crafty Al's channel where you can find the instructions again for this tent topper card. And like I said, the instructions, there's 2 pages, shows you the whole thing of what you need to cut out to make all 12 cards. So if you're wanting to, up your stash and make a bunch of cards at one time, this sure is a fun one to do. And if you go back on her channel, you can see the ones from previous months. Okay, story time. So we're still reading from Wisdom from the World according to Mr. Rogers. Important things to remember. And I don't think that I read these pages yet. Love isn't a state of perfect caring. It is an active noun like struggle. To love someone is to strive to accept that person exactly the way he or she is, right here and now. Each generation, in its turn, is a link between all that has gone before and all that comes after. That is true genetically, and it is equally true in the transmission of identity. Our parents gave us what they were able to give, and we took what we could of it and made it part of ourselves. We, in our turn, will offer what we can of ourselves to our children and their offspring. It's the people we love the most who can make us feel the gladdest and the maddest. Love and anger are such a puzzle. If the day ever came when we were able to accept ourselves and our children exactly as we and they are, then I believe we would have come very close to an ultimate understanding of what good parenting means. It's part of being human to fall short of that total acceptance and often far short. But one of the most important gifts a parent can give a child is the gift of accepting that child's uniqueness. Okay, well, since I'm having trouble with my words, I'm going to stop there. And I want to wish everyone who this applies to a very happy Mother's Day this weekend. And if that doesn't apply to you, I just hope you have a fabulous weekend. So, do something crafty maybe, or enjoy the sunny weather if you happen to have it there. And I will just see you in my next video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you will give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, maybe you could subscribe. That would be awesome. And take care and happy crafting. See you next time. Bye bye.